And I love planning out new curriculum, like my time in the summer to like order all the curriculum. That's like my favorite time. Like when Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Aileen. This is Life as Aileen. I share about homeschool, cooking, a little bit of travel, this and that. Today, I want to talk about homeschool planning and this video is part of an open collab, the Homeschool Show and Tell collab from Jessica at the Waldock Way and Abby from Rooted in Rest. So make sure you check out the full playlist below. I will link that in my notes. So today I just wanted to chat. Let's just chat about how I plan. Because I know that that's different for everyone, and I kind of pull from a few different methodologies, I guess, for planning. So I do like to do some planning ahead of time, like 1 month at a time, but I don't do it for everything. I love, love, love planning from behind in some areas. And those areas are math and English primarily, because my kids' math and English programs are very open and go. I don't really need to get any extra supplies. I don't need to plan out which lessons we're gonna do. We just open the book and go to the next lesson, and they already have everything that they need. One of my kiddos does math on the computer, and I already have all of his student notes printed out for the whole year, and I bound it for him, so he needs nothing. I did recently switch another kiddo back to like a paper math book, so that's changing, but again, it's still just one lesson after another, and I don't need anything extra for that. It all is just included, which I love. And then my first grader also just uses math book, and it's just, we move on to the next lesson. And then for English, it's the same thing. So for the math and the English, what I do is plan from behind. And if you don't know what that is, it means that I don't write anything in my planner until they've done it. I do try and do it in real time, or else I forget. And I like to have like detailed notes about what we've done so I can go back and look. But I'll just go and write Zern, mission blah, lesson blah, because like each unit is called a mission for my son. Or I'll just do, lesson 12. And then for English, one kiddo is in Logic of English, and so I just write Logic of English lesson blah, and then if she also has a couple of different workbooks, Draw Then Write and Explode the Code, and I will literally just write DTW and explode. I don't write what they did in the book, I just note down that they did it that day. And then same for my older kiddos with their IEW, I just write IEW. I might write like final draft at the end of the week if he did get to the final draft, because that's something we're working towards, is completing an entire week of IEW in a week. But I just write it all down. I just write it all down in my planner after it happens. I do no planning for math and English, zero. The only exception is literature. So I've mentioned in other videos that I'm using Blossom and Roots level 4 literature curriculum, English curriculum, language arts, I think she calls it. And so we're doing her book studies, and I pick and choose what I want to do in the teacher manual, which is really very little. We read the explanation of the type of story we're reading or whatever it is that she's covering in that section, and we may do a journal prompt. But other than that, I'm just following her plan for reading the books, like how many chapters each week, very loosely, and that's it. So I do plan that out, like if we're going to read a new book, or if there's a movie that goes with it and we're going to finish the book, then I will plan out, okay, Friday movie night, this movie. But that's as far as it goes. Now, history and science are a completely different animal because I really love planning things, and I love planning out new curriculum. Like my time in the summer to like order all the curriculum, that's like my favorite time, like when I'm not even teaching my kids very much. I just love the like picking and choosing and planning part. It just gets me so excited. And so let's start with history. So for history, we're using Curiosity Chronicles this year. And with Curiosity Chronicles, it's got a physical book, but we're just using the audiobook, and then it's got a teacher's manual. And so in the teacher's manual, it will have some like questions, it'll have like a recipe idea, a craft, different projects that you can do. And then it also has additional books that I can order from the library. So I'll note down any books that I want to order just to have on hand in case the kids want to read them, or if we have time to add them to our morning time. And then I'll pick which projects I think I want to do, and I will order the supplies for those if we don't have them, or I'll set them aside. However, I am notorious for saying, okay, we're going to do this, this, and that, and then we only end up doing one of the things. And that's okay. It's okay. I mean, the only time that that's a bummer is when I've purchased supplies and able to repurpose those supplies in the future for another project. I just like to have the options, leave my options open. But if it's a really nice day and we want to go to the zoo, then we're going to drop school for that day and go to the zoo. Or if we have the opportunity to meet up with friends. So sometimes I cut our school day shorter. Some days they're just not feeling it, and we don't do the extra projects. And then some weeks we are really into it. So I like to be prepared with those ideas. And the way that I do that is I have, I'm going to get my planner. Hold on. I'm back with my planner. I may have shown this planner. I'm not really sure if I have shown this planner on here, but this is my School Nest planner. I know I've shown School Nest notebooks, but this is my School Nest planner. It is undated, so you can kind of pick up and use it whenever you want, or maybe stretch it longer if needed. And then I added these little tabs that I got on Amazon. So let me give you an example. So in the School Nest planner, there's a note section over here, which I might note down things that have happened, things that are working and not working for my kids that week, so I can readjust in the future. And then over here is my weekly goals and to do. And this is where I'm going to write down the things I would like to do for history and science and literature. So you can see I had finish Echo Mountain, journal, and go over the story elements, and then family under the bridge and writing our questions for our book club. And then for nature study, which is what we ended up moving to for science in the fall, I wrote down everything I would like to do. But you can see I checked off barely anything that week. It was a weird week, apparently, because I did not check it all off. So I'll do my science, and then I'll note down what books I want to read, what pages, the different worksheets I want to do, and the projects like Stovetop Popcorn. And then for Curiosity Chronicles is the same thing. So we have CC chapter 12, and then I was also adding in some story of the world as needed in the car, because we live out in the country, so we have a lot of time in the car. And then workbook, because it does come with a workbook, discussion questions, doing our timelining, and then make your own laws poster, which we did not do. I didn't mark it off because we didn't do it. I think we did have a discussion, and it just turned into a discussion. And I realized that it didn't matter if we made a poster. My kids were really bouncy that week and just needed to be outside. So we just discussed it. What would your laws be? Would you have laws? Would you not have laws? So that's, I make this guideline of what I want to do, and I don't always get to all of it. And that's okay. It's totally okay. But that's what I do. This is just what works for me and my brain. And so I'll check it off. And then as we finish those things and actually do them, I've got my actual week spread here. And you can see I've got my sections up here of the different subjects. And I will write it in there under the day if we got to it. So Monday we did our chapter 12 of Curiosity Chronicles. And I just wrote it in there. But then other things you can see. I've got like Zern on here. Logic of English, Explode the Code, reading. I just write that stuff in. That's all planning from behind so that I can go back and know if I need to reference what we've done in the past month, it's in here. I like keeping the records. I have my old planners. I have every planner that I've used since we've homeschooled. They're collecting dust. I never look at them, but I have them. They're on a shelf and I have them. And, if I run out of storage, I guess I'll recycle them. But I really like my method. It's kind of taken some trial and error over the years of figuring out what works. There was a time when I first started homeschooling where I tried to write out every single thing that we were going to cover, every lesson, every math lesson, every English lesson, every chapter of every book ahead of time. I want to say I did it for like 3 months at first because I had no idea how much I was going to fail at that. And it was a huge failure. It totally blew up in my face. I had to erase everything and start over. And so since then, I've learned that that does not work for me. I don't like having to erase things. I don't like to feel like a failure. So having this like choice of options that I can pull from and then I put them in the book works great for me. It works great for my brain. My kids are thriving. So that's how I do it. I would love to hear how you plan. So please let me know in the comments. Do you plan from behind? Do you plan ahead? Do you not plan at all? Do you just fly by the seat of your pants and plan nothing? Because I want to know about that too. I wish I could be that person, but I'm not that person. And also make sure that you check out the whole playlist because there's lots of people sharing about how they plan. In fact, Abby talks about her meal plan and shows her entire meal plan. Abby from Rooted in Rest. She doesn't even do homeschool planning in her video. It's all her meal plan, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks for the whole month of January. And I'm going to add some of those recipes to my meal plan. So definitely check that out. If you have still made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I would love it if you could give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you next time. Bye.